Hello friends, in this video I am going to solve problems on first law of thermodynamics applied to closed system. In this problem, an engine is tested by means of a water brake at 1000 rpm. The measured torque of the engine is 10,000 Newton meter, and the water consumption of the brake is 0.5 meter cube per second. Its inlet temperature being 20 degrees Celsius. Calculate the water temperature at exit, assuming that the whole of the engine power is ultimately transformed into heat, which is absorbed by the cooling water. In this engine is tested by means of water brake, which is at 1000 rpm. And the measured torque is 10,000 Newton meter. Water consumption, mass flow rate is 0.5 meter cube per second. Here it is actually volume flow rate. So now let us list the given data. Here N is 1000 rpm, N is 1000 rpm, and the torque T is 10,000 Newton meter, and water consumption of the brake is 0.5 meter cube per second. Here it is volume flow rate. Let us convert that one into mass flow rate. I will tell you later why that has to be converted into mass flow rate. Here it is 0.5 meter cube per second. Here it is volume flow rate because the unit is meter cube per second. So flow rate is 0.5 meter cube per second. Its inlet temperature being 20 degrees Celsius. Let us take it as T1 equal to 20 degrees Celsius. Calculate the water temperature at exit. At exit temperature, let us take it as T2, that has to be calculated. Assuming that the whole of the engine power is ultimately transformed into heat, which is absorbed by cooling water, whatever that is, engine power is completely transformed into heat that is later absorbed by cooling water. That means the power is equal to heat that is absorbed by cooling water. So we have the formula Q equal to M into Cp into T2 minus T1. Here Q is heat that is absorbed, or simply it is heat. M is mass flow rate of that fluid. Cp is specific heat of that fluid. T2 is exit temperature. T1 is inlet temperature. If we have this Q, we have mass flow rate, specific heat for water, it is always known, that is 4.13 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. T2 can be calculated as T1 is already given. So now here Q is equal to P. So if we calculate P, that will be Q. So that P can be calculated like this, that is P equal to 2 pi NT divided by 60,000 kilowatt. It is 60,000 kilowatt. So this is equal to 2 pi. Here N is 1000 rpm into torque is 10,000 Newton meter, that is divided by 60,000. So that value is 1047.19 it is kilowatt. Now here P is equal to Q, so let us substitute 1047.19 to this Q. It is 1047.19 equal to, here it has to be converted into kg per second, as here Cp is joules per kg Kelvin, or it is kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and temperature is in Kelvin. Here Kelvin get cancelled. Here joules per kg is there, but on the left hand side it is kilowatt, that is watt is joules per second. But here if we have like this m as unit meter cube per second, here units are not same on the left and right hand side. So to make it units same on both the sides, this meter cube per second is converted into kg per second. So if we make it as kg per second, here this kg get cancelled, then we will have this joules per second. Joules per second is watt. So to have kilowatt on the right hand side, already on the left hand side it is in kilowatt. So here Cp is taken in kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Kilojoules per kg Kelvin. If we have the value in kilojoules per kg Kelvin, then the equations, the units on left and right hand side will be same. So to have this mass flow rate from volume flow rate, it is simply like this. Here volume flow rate V is let us take it as 0.5 meter cube per second. To convert this into mass flow rate, we have to multiply it by rho. So then this will be mass flow rate, m is 0.5 into rho, because the rho has the unit kg per meter cube. So here this will be, it is already 0.5 meter cube per second. So this will be rho is kg per meter cube, and meter cube per second. So this meter cube get cancelled. Since the mass flow rate is 0.5 into rho for water is 1000 kg per meter cube. So this will be 0.5 into 1000 is 500 kg per second. Now let us substitute this one here. So this will be 500 kg per second into Cp of water. It is 4.13 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. I am taking it in kilojoules per kg Kelvin because on the left hand side the power is in kilowatt. So to make them equal, I have made it kilojoules per kg Kelvin. So it is 4.13 into T2 minus T1 is 25 degrees Celsius. 25 degrees Celsius. Sorry, it is not 25 degrees Celsius. T1 is 20 degrees Celsius. Let us make it 20 degrees Celsius. So this T2 will be 20.5 degrees Celsius. Here I want to clear one thing. Here it has been taken as Kelvin. where it has been taken as Kelvin, but here I'm writing the unit in degree Celsius. To have this clarity, I will explain this one. The difference of Kelvin and degree Celsius will always be same. For example, let us take some temperature of 25 degrees Celsius and another one as 23 degrees Celsius. Their difference is 25 minus 23 is 2 degrees Celsius. Now let us convert this 25 degrees Celsius to Kelvin. We should add 273 to this 25 degrees Celsius. Then this becomes 273 plus 25 is 298. That is, I'll write down here. It is 273 plus 25. This is 5 plus 3 is 8. 7 plus 2 is 9 to 298. Similarly, 273 plus 23, it is 3 plus 3 is 6, 7 plus 2 is 9, 2, now it is 296, that is 298 minus 296 is 2 degrees Celsius. Their difference either in degree Celsius or in degree Kelvin, they will be same. So here the already the temperature we have taken is in degree Celsius, so the inlet temperature, so here exit temperature is also in degree Celsius. So since there is a difference will be same in both the degree Celsius and Kelvin, and this cancel does not make any difference. So finally T2 is 20.5 degrees Celsius. Let us take another problem, that is in a cyclic process heat transfers are plus 14 kilojoules, minus 25.2 kilojoules, minus 3.56 kilojoules and 31.5 kilojoules. What is the net work done for this cyclic process or cycle process? So for that we have heat transfers Q1, it is plus 14.7 kilojoules, that means heat is added to the system. Then Q2 is minus 25.2 kilojoules, and then Q3 is also rejected from the system, so it is minus 3.56 kilojoules, and the other one Q4 this is plus 31.5 kilojoules, so it is added to the system. So here sigma W cycle for a cyclic process, it is sigma W cycle is equal to J into sigma Q cycle. So here we have to find out the net work done. So W net equal to here J is always unity, 1 into it is Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. So this is 1 into Q1 is 14.7, Q2 is minus 25.2, then Q3 is minus 3.56, then Q4 is plus 31.5. So the final answer will be 17.4 kilojoules. Okay, now let us take another problem, that is first law of thermodynamics applied to a closed system. So for that, I have taken this problem. In this problem, a slow chemical reaction takes place in a fluid at constant pressure of 0.1 megapascals. Here, the fluid is surrounded by a perfect heat insulator during the reaction, which begins at state 1 and ends at state 2. The insulation is then removed and 105 kilojoules of heat flow to the surroundings as the fluid goes to state 3. The following data are observed from the fluid at states 1, 2 and 3. At state 1, the volume is 0.003 and temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. At state point 2, volume is 0.3 meter cube and temperature is 370 degrees Celsius. And at state point 3, volume is 0.06 meter cube and temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Here for this fluid system, E2 and E3 has to be calculated if E1 is 0. Here E2 is internal energy at state point 2 and E3 is internal energy at state point 3, whereas E1 is internal energy at state point 1. So this E1 is 0. So here we have two processes, that is from process 1 to 2 and then from 2 to 3. In the process 1 to 2, there will be heat transfer that is produced by the fluid due to a chemical reaction. Due to a chemical reaction, there will be heat released inside the system, but that heat will not be flown to outside the system, as it is surrounded by perfect heat insulator. So there will be no heat interaction between the system and surroundings, but there will be work transfer as there is change in volume from 0.03 meter cube to 0.3 meter cube at constant pressure of 0.1 megapascal. So whatever the heat that is released by this slow chemical reaction is either used to produce work and also to increase the internal energy of the system. So for that, we will have from the first law of thermodynamics, we have for the first process 1 to 2, for process 1 to 2, we can write the equation as Q1 to 2 equal to delta E plus W from 1 to 2. So here W from 1 to 2, it is happening at constant pressure. So it is W equal to P into displacement volume, that is V2 minus V1. Here pressure is 0.1 megapascals. So let us convert this one into kilopascals so that we will have the final answer in kilojoules. So 0.1 megapascals means it is 0.1 into 10 power 3 into V2 is 0.3 meter cube minus V1 is 0.003 meter cube. So the work done or work involved when the piston moves by and volume displacement from 0.003 to 0.3 is 29.7 kilojoules. 29.7 kilojoules. Now let us substitute this work done value to this first law of thermodynamic expression. And then, as I already told, it is an insulator. There will be no heat interaction between the system and surroundings in the process 1 to 2. So here Q1 to 2 is 0, equal to E2 minus E1, change in internal energy, plus here work is done by the system. So it is 29.7 kilojoules. So I have taken plus 29.7 kilojoules because work is done by the fluid, work is done by the system. So here, as we have no 0 equal to E2 minus E1, it is 0, it has already been given here. So E2 minus 0 equal to 29.7 kilojoules. So the internal energy at state point 2 is minus 29.7 kilojoules. So here we have already calculated E2. Now in process 2 to 3, process 2 to 3, here there will be an heat interaction of 105 kilojoules. Heat flow is taking place to the surroundings when the fluid goes to state 3, and there will be change in volume from 0.3 meter cube to 0.06 meter cube. Then there will be compression in the reduced volume. Compression of the gas means reduced volume. So let us see what is the work done in process 2 to 3. So that is once again it is also taking place at constant pressure. So here W 2 to 3 equal to P into V3 minus V2. So here pressure is 0.1 into 10 power 3 to convert mega Newton per meter square to kilonewton per meter square. Newton per meter square is Pascal. So into V3 is 0.06 minus V2 is 0.3. V2 is 0.3. So W2 to 3 is let us directly substitute this one to this equation, then we will have like this. So for process 2 to 3, rate of heat transfer Q2 to 3 equal to delta E2 plus W 2 to 3. So here Q2 to 3 it is given as there will be 105 kilojoules of heat interaction, and delta E2 is it is E3 minus E2 plus W 2 to 3. In the place of this W 2 to 3, let us substitute this substitution, and we will have directly the value of E3. So it is 105 equal to E3. It is E3 minus of minus 29.7, then plus 0.1 into 10 power 3 into 0.06 minus 0.3. So it is 0.06 minus 0.3. So finally we will have the value of E3 as minus 110.7 kilojoules. Here Q223 is taken negative as heat is rejected by the fluid. So the value of E3 is 110.7 kilojoules. So E2 and E3 are calculated.